In a local economy, a superior core product generates demand. When Chandar and his wife Seema opened their traditional village dhaba, they relied on a simple premise. Seema's cooking was better than the competition. The local market responded immediately. That growth accelerated when two local youths flogged their meal. The resulting social media attention multiplied the dhaba's foot traffic, confirming that the couple had found a strong fit for their product in the village. However, the business was built on a vulnerable foundation. To launch the dhaba, Chandar had relied on a traditional, rigid bank loan, leaving the family's future tied to a single fixed asset. The limits of that model were tested when an urgent deadline for their son Bablu's college fees arrived. Chandar chose to pay for his son's education, which meant missing a scheduled loan installment. This caught the attention of Rajesh, a rival who operated a larger, underperforming restaurant nearby. Unable to attract customers through the quality of his food, Rajesh looked for a non-market way to eliminate his competition. Rajesh used local connections to install a new bank manager who was willing to ignore previous agreements. This manager aggressively called in the entire balance of Chandar's loan at once, using the missed payment as a pretext to seize the family's assets. This diagram shows how a larger entity can use debt as a lever to remove a smaller competitor. By relying on a high-leverage bank loan, Chandar allowed a rival to execute a hostile takeover, without that rival ever having to improve their product. The takeover was complete. The family was displaced, stripped of their restaurant, their home, and the physical assets they had spent years building. When their son Bablu returned from college, he recognized that they couldn't reclaim their business by fighting the bank through the same system that had just bankrupted them. He looked for a way to operate outside that system. He found an abandoned transport truck in a scrapyard. While others saw a pile of junk, Bablu saw a low-cost platform that could be repurposed into a new kind of business. The family spent 2 days converting the truck. They repaired the engine, added a fresh coat of paint, and installed a mobile kitchen, transforming a scrapped vehicle into a functional workspace. This pivot solved their most immediate problem, the need for expensive real estate. By moving the kitchen onto wheels, they removed the high overhead costs that had previously made them dependent on the bank. Because they owned the truck outright, they no longer required the external financial leverage that had led to their original loss. They had replaced a high-risk debt model with a self-contained, asset-light one. They had turned a total loss of property into a lesson in operational resilience, building a business that was much harder for a competitor to seize. They launched their Chelta Firta Hotel, a restaurant that could move to wherever the customers were, rather than waiting for customers to come to them. By moving supply directly to different customer clusters, the mobile node captures the market while staying out of reach. The mobile kitchen sparked a viral loop on social media, reaching more people. Consequently, the competitor's fixed location lost foot traffic, becoming a liability. The family proved that by changing how a product is delivered, a small operator can bypass the geographic advantages of a much larger fixed competitor. Realizing he couldn't compete through business alone, Rajesh attempted to destroy the food truck physically. He lured the family to an isolated field, planning to use a bomb to end the competition. But because the truck operated in various public environments, Bablu had already equipped it with a safety feature, a metal and explosive detector, to protect the family from external threats. This preemptive measure exposed the plan before it could be carried out. The police were called, and Rajesh was taken into custody for the attempted sabotage. With the interference removed, the family was able to reclaim their original building. However, they didn't stop there. They now operate a dual-track business, using the stability of the restaurant alongside the flexibility of the food truck. The family's security didn't come from the building they lost, or even the truck they built. It was found in their ability to pivot when their circumstances changed. They didn't just rebuild what was taken, they developed a model that turned their greatest setback into a more resilient form of success.